सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ओम श्री विश्वनाथाय नमः। ओम श्री शंकराचार्याय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरु शिवानंदाय नमः। ओम श्री आदित्याय नमः। ओम श्री भास्कराय नमः। ओम श्री सूर्याय नमः। ओम ज्योतिषे नमः। हरि ओम। ओम श्री विश्वनाथाय नमः। ओम श्री विश्वनाथाय नमः। ओम श्री विश्वनाथाय नमः। ओम श्री शंकराचार्याय नमः। ओम श्री शंकराचार्याय नमः। ओम श्री शंकराचार्याय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरु शिवानंदाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरु शिवानंदाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरु शिवानंदाय नमः। ओम श्री आदित्याय नमः। ओम श्री भास्कराय नमः। ओम श्री सूर्याय नमः। Worshipful homage to the Supreme, Eternal and Infinite, Universal Spirit Divine. Worshipful homage to that being that is omnipresent and all-pervading, that is the creator of countless universes, but at the same time immanent in all its creation, permeating all things. Homage also to that eternal spirit that indwells all creatures created. That indwells all of us, that abides in the hearts of each and every one of you seated here. As the indwelling divine presence. By its grace divine, may you all be enabled to constantly feel within you its inner presence divine. Loving adorations to revered and beloved Holy Master, Gurudev Swami Shivanand Maharaj. Who among his gems of invaluable spiritual teachings also imparted to us this important insight, and thus enriched our lives by this precious, invaluable spiritual truths. He said, "Within you is hidden God. Eko devas sarvabhuteshu ghudaha." One divinity is hidden in all beings. Eko devas sarvabhuteshu ghudaha. This Gurudev declared, within you is hidden God. Within you is immortal soul. Within you is fountain of bliss. Within you is ocean of joy. Our loving adorations to him who has thus enriched our lives with this inner awareness. In his early morning spiritual fellowship, whatever is said is usually said to communicate some things, share and to communicate. But this day, it is not only to share and to communicate, but this day it is done with a certain purpose. And the purpose is that you may not merely know and possess that which has been communicated and shared, but that you may also start working upon it. So that is the purpose. Merely by knowing that which has been communicated and merely by receiving that which has been shared, the practical purpose may or may not be served depending upon whether you start practically working upon what has been imparted and what has been received. Therefore, the application in daily practice, in application in daily life, in a practical way, being important. Today's sharing is not only communicating, but it has behind this specific purpose. Yesterday we shared with you about what the inner psychological content of a seeker should be. We said that it should be constant inquiry, discrimination, and analysis of oneself. Today, we take this a step further and try to impart another view, another angle of vision towards this self-same truth. And viewed from this new angle, we see that each seeker is required to play a triple role towards oneself in terms of one's spiritual life, in which there are ingredients that seem self-contradictory. Mutually exclusive, self-contradictory. This role which the sadhak is required to play is that the sadhak has to be a creator, a preserver, and also a destroyer. Creating and destroying, they are evidently contradictory to each other. Similarly, preserving and destroying also don't go together. One preserves carefully in order to keep, not to destroy and do away with it. And our task will be to see how these seemingly contradictory elements, factors, can still coexist in not only a logical and a rational way, but also coexist in a connected and related way. And what is more, related in a possibly cause and effect relationship. This is all the more seemingly extraordinary. From a higher metaphysical or a purely logical point of view, it is not so very self-contradictory, and this relationship also can be necessary due to prevailing law, in the sense that destruction is possible only if there is something to be destroyed. Otherwise, destruction is not possible. And if there has to be something in order to make destruction possible, it is axiomatically evident that that thing has been brought into being, which means creation and destruction are not so very contradictory as they seem. Creation is necessary and indispensable if destruction has to be made a possibility. From this higher point of view, they are related. Because there is created things, destruction is possible. So there is creation, the cause of destruction. Cause and effect relationship is there. But let us not go deep into this intellectualizing of, philosophizing of this situation. Our main dimension and plane on which we work is the dimension of the spiritual life, and dimension of the seeker, and dimension of the seeker's sadhana upon the spiritual path. Otherwise it will become a subject of a full-length discourse, which is not the action now, and necessarily therefore a subject that is of such significance and has great meaning for us can only be dwelt upon and dealt with briefly, in a concise and a brief manner. And whatever is said and shared is more indicative rather than the full statement of the facts of the situation. It is like a pointing finger for you to start reflecting in that direction, thinking in that direction. That is his purpose, to be a pointing finger so that guides your thought in what direction it should be exercised. The triple functions of creation, preservation and destruction are that as part of the contents of your life, which you are trying to transform into and make into a spiritual life, are negative contents as well as positive contents, are contents that are spiritually helpful to your progress, and equally also there are some other aspects or factors that act as hindrances in your onward progress towards God experience, illumination. In the 16th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the great teacher mentions to us what are all the helpful factors in the path of God attainment and liberation, and therefore factors that one should diligently cultivate and develop within oneself. And elsewhere, even though not so very elaborately and in detail, but in a concise manner, the hindering factors are also briefly, very briefly summarized. And the spiritual seeker is advised to get rid of them, to have nothing to do with them. Have no truck with these things, O Arjuna, for they are destructive to your spirituality. Give them up immediately. Thus, the teacher calls upon Arjuna to take action against such negative things, unspiritual things, undivine things. Tribidham narakasyedam dwaram nasanam atmanaha kama krodastata lobaha tasmad etatrayam tyajet. They have to be given up immediately, O Arjuna. Kamesha krodesha ajoguna samudbhavaha. Your task is to fill yourself with pure sattva, which is nearest to me. And carnal passion and impure desire and anger, they are born out of binding rajas. Then again, elsewhere, Jai Shatrum Mahabaho Kamarupam Durasadam. O great one, O heroic one, destroy this enemy of yours in the form of carnal passion or impure desire. And they are your dire enemies. Durasada Shatru. Therefore, you have to be heroic, rise up to the occasion and destroy this enemy. Jai Shatrum Mahabahu Kamarupam Durasadam. Thus, one is called upon to be a destroyer as well. one is called upon to be a creator of all the Daivi Sampada necessary for spiritual progress. And one is also called upon to destroy these opposing undivine factors that also prevail in the interior of man. And if diligently acquired divine qualities have to be developed, they can be developed only if they are carefully preserved, nurtured and preserved. And so, it logically follows that one has to preserve things that one wishes to remain with one and go on increasing within oneself, developing within oneself.